This is the Sunday Motivational Video. Every Sunday, we bring you a different type of video which should improve your life. Today, we're looking at 15 books Elon Musk thinks everyone should read. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. You've been requesting another book video, so we listened. We're thinking of launching this new mini-series where we look at really successful individuals and bring forth the books which had the biggest influence on their journey or positively impacted their life in one way or another. Elon Musk needs no introduction. You know who he is, what he's doing, and it's no secret that we're big fans of him here at Alux. It's been a pleasure digging through all of his early interviews and conversations in order to put together a list of books which the man himself thinks everyone should read. Before we get started with this list, just wanted to let you know that in the description of this video, you'll find links to all the books mentioned. Who knows? Maybe if you read some of them, you'll get a better understanding of the way Elon's mind works. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Anyways, let's get to it. Here are the 15 books Elon Musk thinks everyone should read. Number 1. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Musk read this book as a young teenager in South Africa, and it became instrumental to his thinking. The book blends comedy with science fiction and has amassed a cult-like following throughout the world. Basically, Earth is being demolished in order to make way for the galactic freeway, and at the last second, our main character, Arthur Dent, is plucked off the planet by his friend Ford Perfect, who turns out to be an alien. Arthur learns a lot about the universe, and we get to join him through his travels. Musk referenced the book in a 2015 interview, and even hid an Easter egg when he launched his Roadster into space. The words "Don't Panic" were displayed on the dashboard screen as an homage to the book. If you don't feel like reading it, you can always listen to the book while you're in traffic or doing repetitive, boring work. If you go to alux.com/freebook, you can get The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or any one of these books for free when you sign up with Audible. Number 2. Structures, or Why Things Don't Fall Down, by J.E. Gordon. Elon had his first success with PayPal, so coming from a coding background, it was difficult to jump into revolutionizing rockets. In order to do that, he literally started teaching himself rocket science. In an interview with a radio station in California, he mentioned structures as a really good primer for structural design. This is the type of book you should embrace if you're interested in making more sense of how the world around you is being built and put together. It's weirdly fascinating to learn how skyscrapers are built, why suspended bridges don't collapse during rush hour, answered by engineers and architects in a simple and manageable fashion. Musk has been directly involved with the design and planning of SpaceX's Falcon Heavy rocket. He became chief designer and CEO at SpaceX, not because he wanted to, but because nobody good enough would join the company early on, so he had to step in. Number 3. Benjamin Franklin, An American Life, by Walter Isaacson. You know how Elon Musk is our hero? Well, Benjamin Franklin is one of his heroes. For those of you who don't know Benjamin Franklin's story, he was an ambitious urban entrepreneur who rose through the social ladder from a shopkeeper to dining with kings. He's an inventor who's most known for proving that lightning is electricity with his famous kite experiment, which led to the invention of the lightning rod, among many other things, as well as being a founding father of what we know today as the United States of America. In an interview with Foundation, Musk said Franklin is pretty awesome. He was an entrepreneur. He started from nothing. He was just a runaway kid. Number 4. Superintelligence, Paths, Dangers, Strategies, by Nick Bostrom. We're all familiar with Elon's stance on strong AI. In an interview he did with MIT a few years ago, he compared it to summoning the demon. Nick Bostrom's Superintelligence breaks down the impact technology will have on humanity in the next 20, 40, and 100 years or more. It takes you through how technology is changing the way we live and how it's accelerating at an unprecedented speed. Musk recommends this book to anyone who is seriously interested in the impact AI will have on all of us in the coming decades, and why we need to be super careful early on in its creation. Number 5. Our Final Invention by James Barrat. Continuing on the AI trend, Musk endorsed this book as a worthy read via Twitter in 2014. The book dives into the question of whether or not we could coexist with an entity whose intelligence dwarfs that of humans, and that adds a new layer of maybe we should be careful about this to the entire race of the first AI. In an interview on the topic, Elon said, AI doesn't have to be evil to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it'll destroy humanity as a matter of course, even without thinking about it. No hard feelings. Artificial intelligence is already here. The issue that remains is which direction do we choose to move forward with it? The biggest impact we will see is in the actual workforce, with millions ending up unemployable because it's more efficient to automate everything. A while back, we did a video on 15 jobs which will be replaced by automation in the near future, which you can check out in the top right corner. You might want to watch it just to see if it's time for a career change. Number 6. Ignition, an informal history of liquid rocket propellants by John D. Clark. Musk used structures as a guide to building the rocket. Now it was time to figure out how to get it up and go. Musk said that ignition was critical in his development of how his rockets are being fueled, and took much of the scientific findings to heart. The book breaks down the science behind rocket fuel and how it all comes together. Out of Musk's recommendations, this is the only one we'll tell you to skip unless you're really into chemistry or rockets. We personally recommend you just go on to the next book. Not because it isn't valuable, but the type of value you'll find in it is focused in a very specific field. Number 7. The Foundation Trilogy by Isaac Asimov. This trilogy is one of Musk's favorite reads growing up, and we can see how it changed the way he looks at the world based on what he was passionate about early on in his life. The book centers on the fall of the fictional galactic empire, which consists of millions of planets settled by humans across the Milky Way galaxy, a goal Elon himself said is worthy of pursuing. The problem with empires is they have a cyclical lifespan, poised for an incredible growth, then a tipping point, and the inevitable demise, as we've seen with the Babylonians, the Sumerians, followed by the Egyptians, the Romans, and even China. Technology is finally approaching a point in which humans might finally be able to settle other planets and create backups for the knowledge we have acquired so far, and the Foundation Trilogy puts all of that into perspective. And Aluxers, if you've got an interest in science fiction, we recommend the Foundation series as a great starting point to explore this genre if you haven't already. The regular price is $32 for the first part of the trilogy, but if you go to alux.com/freebook and sign up, you can get it for free, courtesy of our partnership with Audible. Number 8. Life 3.0, Being Human in the Age of Artificial Intelligence by Max Tegmark. Out of 15 recommended books, this is the third one with a focus on artificial intelligence, so I guess you could say we're seeing a trend. But this time, the book focuses on the positive aspects of AI and how we could use it to further humanity. The book tackles questions like, how can we grow our prosperity through automation without leaving people lacking income or purpose? What career advice should we give today's kids? How can we make future AI systems more robust so they do what they want without crashing, malfunctioning, or getting hacked? Should we fear an arms race in lethal autonomous weapons? And more. We would recommend you get all 3 of these books in order to have a better understanding of the topic. But if you want to get only one, this is the one to buy or listen to. Number 9. The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Growing up, Elon was a nerdy loner kid, so he immersed himself in these fictional worlds that shaped his characters to a great degree. In an interview he did early on with the New York Times, he mentions how, "The heroes of the books I read always felt a duty to save the world," and we can surely see that core value of his stuck around. To give a summary of The Lord of the Rings, at this point, would be pretty much useless, since you already know the story either from reading the books or watching the movies. Now, slightly off topic, but it might be an interest of those who are passionate about Lord of the Rings. Amazon is currently financing and producing an entire $250 million TV series set in Middle-earth, which we're expecting to go live sometime in 2020. Number 10. 0 to 1. Notes on Startups, or How to Build the Future, by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel has been a close acquaintance of Musk, both members of what is now known as the PayPal Mafia. They both got rich from the sale of PayPal and ended up launching incredible companies afterwards. 0 to 1 is a phenomenal and easy-to-read book, which we can't recommend enough. It's short, it's to the point, and Thiel's perspective on how new companies are the change agent for the world is very relatable to those with an entrepreneurial mindset. It's easy to see how these two could come together on a mutual project, despite sometimes their differences in vision. There's a great deal of respect between the two of them, and they are easily two of our favorite entrepreneurs. Peter Thiel isn't mainstream popular, but we recommend you look into who he is and what he's working on. You'll have your mind blown. If you want a quick rundown on his story, click in the top right corner to watch our profile we did on him. Number 11. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Robert Heinlein. Why don't we have a moon colony already? Ain't that the question we should have answered by now? Heinlein's book is set in a close dystopian future where some humans have been exiled from Earth onto the Moon, where they have created a libertarian society from which they choose to rebel against and rule the Earth. It's another great sci-fi novel which Musk regards as Heinlein's best work, which he thoroughly enjoyed. Number 12. Merchants of Doubt by Naomi Oreskes and Eric M. Conway. This is a fiction book published by two scientists, which brings to light how many companies are using PR to hide the damage they're doing to both the planet and the humans living on it, from the tobacco industry to pesticides to global warming. This book gives you a glimpse behind the curtain. Merchants of Doubt focuses on how loose-knit groups of very respected scientists, paid by and connected to politicians and industry, ran effective campaigns with the goal to mislead the public and deny well-established scientific knowledge for over 40 years. Musk himself endorsed this book as a worthy read on Twitter back in 2013. Number 13. Einstein, His Life and Universe by Walter Isaacson. This book, based on Einstein's personal letters, takes us on a journey of how the man went from a young, frustrated patent officer to a Nobel Prize winner and changing the world as we know it in the process. Musk is very fond of Isaacson's biographies, and it's easy to see why. The author positions his subjects in a very familiar light as young rebels and nonconformists, which are so passionate about the goal of their existence, and which, in that pursuit, end up shifting the way we look at life. If you're a big Albert Einstein fan, we have a recommendation for you. There's this TV series called Genius. The first season covers Albert, and we really enjoyed binge-watching it before getting back to work. Number 14. Howard Hughes, His Life and Madness by Donald L. Bartlett and James B. Steele. Speaking of people who inspired Elon Musk is Howard Hughes. The man was a legend, fascinating the world during his lifetime. Howard Hughes lived large. He simply did not exist in the same universe with the rest of the world. He recommended learning about Howard Hughes because it's a story many of you A-Luxers are interested in living. Money, fame, success beyond belief. All of them can happen, but if you're not careful, the price you'll pay will match that opulence. Many people think of Elon as the modern-day Howard Hughes. Let's just hope that this time, it ends differently. Number 15. The Culture Series by Ian M. Banks. This is an entire series that Elon has also been inspired by. As you would expect, it's another sci-fi series made up of 10 books. Mr. Musk once described himself as a utopian anarchist aligned with Ian M. Banks' books, and if dystopian futures ruled by machines are probable in our timeline, maybe you'd like to get yourself more acquainted with the possibility awaiting for us. Banks is widely regarded as Silicon Valley's favorite author because he paints realistic images of what the future of society looks like. Although the entire series is made up of 10 books, if you don't know where to start, we recommend The Player of Games. It's probably your best introduction to the series, no matter if you enjoy the genre or not. Now, what do you think about Elon's list, A-Luxers? Which of these books sparked your interest the most? Let us know in the comments. And as a reward for watching yet another Sunday video all the way to the end, you get a bonus book. Number 16. Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future by Ashley Vance. If you're inspired by Musk, we recommend you pick up the best book published about him so far. We recommended it in our first books video as a must-read, just to give you a direct glimpse into the mind of the man who is currently inspiring a generation of entrepreneurs. You'll be shocked by his life, his childhood, and how the pieces sometimes fell into place and others forced into place in order to facilitate everything he's done. Now, if you've watched this video all the way to the end, we want to say thank you for being a true A-Luxer. You're probably as passionate about Musk's work as we are. Hopefully in our lifetime, we'll get to throw a party on Mars. If you'd be open to attending it, write Mars in the comments. That way, we'll know who's coming. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers.